So welcome to the Beef Teaching Farm. We're standing out here in our calving pasture, and we're going to talk a little bit in this Manager Minute about what we do to get ready for calving season before that first calf even hits the ground. So it actually all started here in this paddock. This fall, we grazed down this paddock fairly tight. The reason for that is that we use conifer feeding strategy so that we can control the time of day that our cows and our bred heifers are going to calve. We need this grass grazed down tight, otherwise it's really going to affect the success on that conifer feeding. So behind us we've got some fence line bunks. We're going to deliver a ration for those cows during calving season at 4 p.m. into those bunks every single day. We actually start that about 2 to 3 weeks ahead of calving season so that my crew and those cattle get on a schedule knowing that they're going to be fed every single day at 4 p.m. By using the conifer feeding method, we can get about 90% of our cows to calve between the hours of 5 a.m. and 9 p.m., which are pretty good working hours. So we started getting ready and making preparations by grazing this tight in the fall so that these cattle didn't have anything to graze while we were feeding them in the spring. Second thing that we do to make sure that we have a successful calving season is we use scour guard on those cows. So we use a scour guard vaccination, work with your local veterinarian on whatever brand you want to use, but we get that into those cows and bred heifers in a timely manner so that when they're starting to produce that colostrum for that calf, they're producing the highest quality colostrum with the most maternal antibodies that I can actually get into that colostrum. I want to give that calf the best chance that I can to set him up for success. So we're standing here in just our calving pasture. How our system works, and we'll go through it more, is only our cows that are spring calving cows are the only ones who ever come into this pasture. We don't use it for fall calving. We don't use it for overflow cattle handling. Just our spring calving cows, and we just cut it for hay the rest of the year. By doing that, we have a really good handle on what we have for a pathogen load in this pasture. So before those calves even hit the ground, we've got them set up for success. After those calves hit the ground, we're going to take them out of here within about 12 hours of age, and they're going to go over into a nursery pasture. So this ground, for the most part, when a new baby is hitting the ground, this is a clean plate. This is a clean place for them. We don't have to worry about a bunch of other calves that are, being commingled with brand new baby calves hitting the ground. I want to give those calves the best chance of success that I can. You'll notice over here on the far fringes of this, we've actually got some water standing here. It's not uncommon. The time of the year that we start calving here in March, we'll end up with a little bit of water in there. So what I'm going to do, if that's still here when we bring those cows down, is we're actually just going to string a hot wire around it and limit the access to that. I don't want to run the risk of giving a heifer or even a cow the option of dropping a calf in water. She can be the best cow in the world, but if she drops a calf in water and it drowns or gets chilled, we're still going to lose a calf either way. So don't even give them that option. Look in your calving pasture for those areas, things that you might lose a calf to, that you can just delete out of that system completely or take the risk away. The last thing that we do to really set up for a successful calving season is I only bring down my cattle in about a group of 30 to 40 head into this area. By doing that, it does a couple of things for us. It monitors our hoof traffic on this calving pasture so that we don't create a mud hole. It makes it easier for me and my crew to check cows because we're looking at only the first 30 and 40 head that we actually need to be looking at. We still check the other ones, but I know the 30 head that are in this pasture are the most crucial cows that we have that are the closest up to calving. We use our ultrasound records from preg check time. We look at those, we sort those cattle according to those dates, as well as still walking those cows and visually assessing to see if we missed anything at preg check time or anything was off according to what the days are. We bring those cattle down here so that we have a very organized system in how we calve. We have all of our supplies already on farm, and we're about 2.5 to 3 weeks away from our first calf hitting the ground. The end of this week, we'll start feeding those cows, like I talked about, to get them trained for the conifer method. Hopefully a little bit of the snow will leave and we'll bring those cows down here and we can get set up for a really successful calving season Look forward to visiting with you guys more about how we put a little bit more management into it after that baby hits the ground to ensure that we have a successful season.